Right, good morning people. It is day 3. Currently 9 o'clock. I've got up late today. I did set an alarm to get up for this time, but I was up last night till about 2:30 back testing, doing the data that I was speaking about yesterday. So what I'm going to do this morning, I will quickly now run over the charts of what I'm looking at for today and what's happened overnight, and then I will break down that data and show you how to refine your strategy, find what works and what doesn't. And honestly, guys, there's from the data that I've taken last night and the results I've got from it, it's very interesting to see how a few tweaks can definitely increase what you're doing, okay? So day 3 begins now. I'm just going to go onto the charts, show you guys what's going on, and then hopefully, guys, today we can have a trade because there does look to be some good opportunities. This is my 2 o'clock update. I think moving forward, now I've made more of these videos, what I'm probably going to do is a morning update, a 2 p.m. update, and then anything in between, just because it's the easiest way to do it. So it's currently about 1:30, so we're going up to 2 o'clock now. This is a position that I've got set on Euro Australian dollar. So we are looking at the 165 region, aiming for a 2-to-1. So I'm risking 17 pips to make 35. I'll change the lot size now. Remember, this is the £500 flip account. So my lot size should be around, I thought so, 0.28, 0.29. There we go. So I've got this trade set here. EN, I've actually got a short set from this level here. As you can see, these is what's outlined. I've got a nice key level to the left. I've got my Fibonacci and I've got the round number. So for that reason, this is the trade I'm interested in. I'm risking 17 pips to make 34. That's that one. GA, we're in no man's land. GN, I had this area here. So prices started pulling back. We've got the closure. I'm now going to draw my area. And as you can see, this is the area that I am interested in. For that reason, I'm looking to go short. GU, nothing. EJ, nothing. ECAD, nothing. GCAD, nothing. Gold, still doing absolutely nothing. So that is the update for the midday. If any of these trades do trigger, I will update them. And just having a quick look at the data I have now got. If we have a look, I'm just going to pull this over for you. If it loads. So the data that I have got now is that over the past month or so, by targeting 2-to-1 on the positions during the London session, I'd be looking at about 12R return, meaning on, for example, this account, I'd have done 60%. On my live account, I'd have done 12%. Funded accounts, 12%, which some people may say that's not a lot. If you was to go to any hedge fund in the world and say that you could get them 12% return a year, they would snap you up straight away. So just because someone's not making 20% a month, guys, doesn't mean that it's not realistic. What you want to be doing is making consistent gains within the market, which is what I always target. In the past 5 or so weeks, 12 trades, most of them have won bar 1. That is better than taking 30 trades and obviously not getting anywhere. So obviously, any trades you want to see of mine, that the links are in the bio if you do want to join the group and stuff like that. But yeah, that's the update for now, guys. Any kind of developments in either of these positions, I will update you. And hopefully we might get our first trade of the week. So here we are on the backtested spreadsheet from last night. These are all the things I backtested. So remember, yesterday we were up to Euro Australian dollar. And then last night I did EN, GA, GN, GU, EJ, AU. You'll notice some pairs perform better than others. That's just like anything. This is over the month of March and half of April. So it's not a big data set because obviously I've only just started. So obviously if we look back, you can see that it would be worth getting some more data. What I want to do and show you is that on this spreadsheet, I track the date of the trade, the day, the time, the pair, the confluences, the zone size, and that's pretty much it. And obviously the news. So firstly, what I would do, I would look at the time. So let me just remove the gaps in this so that we can, let's just have a look, because what we're going to do by removing these gaps, we can now filter all of it, and then following that we can see. So first things first, let's go and look at the time. So overall, if we look, I tracked 1 risk to reward, 1.5 and 2 with a 5 pip stop loss over my zone. Okay, if I'd have targeted 1 to 1, you'd be up 5%. If you'd have targeted 1.5, you'd be up 7%. And if you'd have targeted 2%, you'd be up 2R, you'd be up 10%. Okay, so 10% by any means in trading is very, very good. Don't let people trick you out there into thinking that, 20-30% months, it's always going to happen. No, it's not. Bear in mind there are also 5 more pairs to backtest, so 10% over half of my pairs. That's good. So firstly, let's look at the time. So we can see that there's a mix of wins, losses, misses, everything's good. If we change the time to order, and what I am going to do, I am going to highlight the trades which happen whilst I'm asleep. And you'll see why I do this in a moment. So, when I am asleep or at the end of the working day for most people, I am going to highlight this. Okay? So, what I can do, I can say overall, I knew that it was about 10% on the everything positions. Okay, by trading the overnight session, you would have made 1% over the course of 6 weeks, which is not good enough to trade. So what about the London session when I trade, where there's the volume in the market, where everything goes well? What can we see? Well, we can see that actually you're looking at about 9% over the course of the 5 to 6 weeks. Bear in mind that's not every single pair. So if I can trade the London session between the hours of 8 and pretty much 4 o'clock, I can look to see a return of 9%. And that's not including any runners. That's just including if you take TP1 at 2%, that is what you're looking at. Okay, so you've got 9R compared to a total of 10. So what does that tell me? That tells me that taking positions overnight where there's not enough volume in the market results in more losses. It results in not any better results, because if you look, guys, the only trade which lost in the London session was 1. And this trade was at the start of NFP day. Okay, so for that reason, obviously there's a lot of volatility in the markets, and it happened before the news. That's why it's tracked. What else can we see? We can see that by looking at this data set, when there is high impact news at the time of trigger or before the trade triggered, that results in losses, which is what I have always said to people when they are trading the markets. If you are trading a strategy based off technical analysis, when high impact news comes out, you do not want to be taking positions, because your technical analysis does not mean shit when high impact news comes out, because the fundamentals are driving the market. Therefore, what I always say is, if there's news at 1, if your trade hasn't triggered by 12, don't take the trade. Okay? You can see out of all the trades that happened after news came out, 1 won and 5 lost, meaning you saved about 4% of your balance by avoiding the news. So, what does this data tell me now moving forward? It means that I don't have to take overnight positions because I'm not missing out. I can take trades in the London session and obviously the afternoon. I'm going to stick to my normal pairs, and if there is high impact news, usually for the American dollar, I will avoid taking any positions after the news is released. Due to that, I could expect to see over the past 5 to 6 weeks a 9% gain, assuming I risk 1%. And that is not including all the pairs that I will trade. So I still need to backtest again today, but this is kind of where we're at the start of the day. Okay, so I'm hoping that you can see that it's beneficial to start backtesting, getting your data and breaking down what that data says and shows you. Okay, so as mentioned, we will wait hopefully for this trade to trigger on Euro Australian dollar, and if there are any developments I will obviously update you. But it's 9:13 now. I'll check the market again at 10, and in the meantime I need to record a couple of videos and also update the community with what's going on. So yes guys, any updates I will update you, but that is it for this. So then this is the end of day 3. Let's just summarise what happened. So obviously earlier we went over the back-tested data. EA never came near, so for that reason obviously this is now invalid. EN, however, bear in mind that the rules of my strategy are that I trade between the hours of 8 and 4 because it makes sense for me. If we have a look at this position here, you can see that actually if we go into the 15-minute, this position would have triggered on the 4 o'clock candle. So for me, it's invalid. We did have a 17 pip stop loss, so you'd have just stayed in the trade by 2 pips, and you would now be heading towards TP. So we'll see what happens with this one when we do a catch up in the morning. It will go on the spreadsheet, obviously, because I track every trade. However, it's not a position I took in my trading hours, but we will see if the idea itself plays out. If we go onto GA, we don't have a position that triggered today, but looking at this, if this was to come tomorrow, maybe I would look to enter this position. GN, you can see, never reached that area. It's absolutely fine. GU, still ranging. EJ, doing nothing. And then ECAD and GCAD doing the exact same. So what we will do, guys, that is the end of day 3. No trades, albeit this EN would have come close with my trading hours. But obviously you've got to stick to your rules, guys. So thank you very much for tuning into this video. We will catch up again tomorrow. There is a video actually going up tomorrow based on moving averages. So if you are interested in that, then obviously take a look at 8 PM. So yes guys, hope you've all had a good day, and I will see you in tomorrow's episode.